I think the most important points that we've heard today is that basically the mainstream isn't working, and that we do need to have a change in politics and policies in Europe, and that we need to have a much broader perspective of priorities than just the fiscal and financial priorities that we usually see in Brussels. I think it's been incredibly important that it's been pointed out that social policies, that ensuring a social safety net and decent working conditions isn't something that you might be able to afford if your economy is working well, but it's actually a foundation for having an economy where we invest in people, invest in skills, and invest in new and good jobs. And then lastly, I think it's been important to have the stress that there's a fight about which way Europe moves as well. And we as Progressive have to show quite clearly in which way we want to take Europe and what we are fighting for, and also who we are fighting against every now and then.
All we know is that in the past 15 years, 10 to 15 years, our strategy has been on the defensive. The Progressives have been forced into a defensive strategy, saying we have to adjust to globalization, adjust to the financial market, adjust to what the market is telling us. Now, the market is not perfect, as we know. The market is imperfect, but we need the market not as the master of people, but as the servant of people. That is why I think the most important message at this conference is, let's change the mainstream. The mainstream thinking in economics, in labor market politics, in interplay between the public and private sector. Point: the Progressives need to obtain a new consensus about where we're going from now. That jobs will only come if we politically decide in our cooperation to make that priority of investment and investing together, so that we can use the single markets effect to obtain a maximum outcome of jobs. Secondly, the financial market needs to be reformed. The financialization of our economies have undermined a big part of our values. That's why we need to reform the financial market, and let's start with the financial transaction tax. And thirdly, the most important one, it pays to invest in people. It pays to invest in a good social policy. That is why this little country, Denmark, is a bumblebee. It shouldn't be possible according to mainstream economic thinking, but it is. We are investing in people, childcare, education, and still we have the high welfare, competitive strength. So investing in people pays. That's why we should change the mainstream.
There have been many points mentioned that are of importance for the future. I think the most important thing to understand is that Social Democrats have to tackle the phenomena of inequality if we want to return our societies to growth and employment, because inequality is a source of an enormous economic misallocation. So funds that are created by the society are going into the financial system where nobody really needs it. We have to rechannel the wealth that is created by the society in new investment, in new jobs, and in new employment. Therefore, we have to think about taxation on a broader level, which means we have to attack tax havens, we need financial transaction tax, and we also have to reassess the question of property taxes. We cannot leave that out.